This radical gender ideology has gone so far, and now anyone who says, no, this is not how biology works, no, this is not how morality works, and they're going to say no to this agenda, they're going to be cracked down on by the police, by the government, and thrown in jail.
When the people stand up and say this is wrong and the government doesn't care, that means they are not dictated by us. They want to dictate us.
What's it going to take for Canada to stop persecuting Christians? The Canadian government has once again arrested a Christian pastor in the city of Calgary simply for being Christian. What's next? Are they going to send us to the gulag?
Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's going to take a change of power because we're going to have to wake up to reality here. This administration has seen, or the previous administration as well, they've seen coups, they've seen the trucker convoy, they've seen pastors arrested, they've seen the protests at the drag shows, they saw the protests during COVID. They don't care. Okay, they don't care that we have an opinion. They don't care that the Albertans and Canadian people don't like what they're doing. They don't care. It's going to take a complete change of power. Because honestly, no matter what we do, no matter what we say to them, no matter how we express that we don't like this, they're going to do what they want to do anyway because there's someone else pulling the strings, paying the bills, and saying, this is what you need to do. That might warrant more than a change of power. That might warrant overturning of the entire system.
Well, they don't even care that we have basic rights and freedoms in this country. Pastor Derek Reimer has been arrested yet again for simply following his convictions and protesting what he believes to be evil. And of course, they accused him of breaching his conditions, and now he is yet again in prison awaiting bail. My guess is he's going to be denied bail because he broke his conditions, so he might be in there for the long run. And this is what they do. This is how they punish. This is how they try to set an example to deter anyone else, any other Christians from standing up.
Yep. And the reason he has conditions in the first place, the reason he was there the first time, is because he stood up for children even when their own parents wouldn't. And I do have to ask, do you think that's right? Do you think it's right as a Christian when you see wickedness done against, for example, children, that you say this is wrong even if their parents want this to happen?
It's not only right to do it, it would be wrong not to stand up against this. When they bring a dangerous, evil ideology and they start implementing that on children, what option do we have?
Right.
What option do we have as Christians? You have to face that and stand up to it and say no.
And it's a little concerning that these parents do this, that the government and the mayor and everyone says this is great, and they say that we're the problem because we don't want children to be sexualized. And a guy gets arrested, Pastor Derek Reimer, because he's within 200 meters of a event.
I mean, if I told you that mentally ill grown men were going to start reading to children in sexual provocative clothing, 20 years ago they would have been locked up. 20 years ago the police would have gone after those perverts. That's what they are.
Forget 20 years. 10 years would have been fine. They would have done it 10 years ago. This isn't, they like to make the argument that this has been happening for years, centuries, that this has been happening throughout all of history and that we're the problem, that we're just waking up and realizing this. It's not true at all. This is a new thing.
They're making us seem like the crazy people. Our own Canadian dictator, our supreme leader, Justin Trudeau, has said that a trans woman is a woman. And if you think differently, you're the crazy one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The director of the Johns Hopkins Society just came out and said that transgenderism is a mental disorder.
Yeah.
The psychological manual, doctors say that this is a mental disorder. Yeah. We're not the crazy ones.
No, and that's how it's been for as long as you can remember. But the gaslighting is impressive. Okay, they've been gaslighting us into thinking that actually, no, this has been around forever. Actually, this has always been a thing. It's not true. They're gaslighting you. They're lying to you. And a man saying that he is a woman is not a woman. And that's not controversial. That's not a hot topic. That's just facts. If you are born a man, you are not a woman. And if you decide that this should not be a thing in front of children, sexually dancing in front of children, whatever you want to call it, and a man gets arrested because he says, actually, this is wrong, that guy's not the problem. He's not stuck in the Stone Ages. You guys are the crazy people.
No, this radical gender ideology has gone so far, and now anyone who says, no, this is not how biology works. No, this is not how morality works. And they're going to say no to this agenda. They're going to be cracked down on by the police, by the government, and thrown in jail. And I'm really sick to my stomach that this is the state of a once strong and free, beautiful Judeo-Christian nation.
Yeah. And I think it's gaslighting as well to say that actually everyone believes this already. It's not true. The loud people believe it. The people they showcase believe it, but it's not majority by any means. Okay, and it also
you're just bullied to agree with it, because if you don't agree with it, you're going to get canceled, you're going to get censored, you're going to be ostracized by society. But the reality is, this is the truth.
Yeah,
we stand by it. We stand by science. We stand by the Bible. We stand by truth.
Yeah, and the fact that people do get bullied and ostracized just reinforces the fact that we're not in control of our own government anymore. It's not a democracy. It's not a republic anymore. We're not in control. Someone else is in control. Because when the people stand up and say this is wrong and the government doesn't care, that means they are not dictated by us. They want to dictate us.
Well, anytime a government tells you you're not allowed to disagree with them, you got to be scared. You got to be when you no longer have free speech, when you no longer have freedom of religion, you better be scared. When you can go to jail for a thought crime because you have a different opinion, you better be scared. Yeah. Because history teaches us that only ends in bloodshed.
You're completely delusional if you still think that the government not only has your best interest in mind, but that you have a say in what happens. You have a say in the governing, you have a say in the policies, you have a say in the legislation. No, stop fooling yourself. They don't care what you think. What they're going to do, they're going to push until it's done, unless we do something other than just expect to be heard the normal way anymore.
So what do you think it's going to take for this to be combated? Or how do we stop this from happening? I mean, we have a few examples of people that stood up to this. What do we do now?
Honestly, I don't know fully what we're supposed to do. I know that a complete overhaul is probably necessary, because through and through, all the way to the top branch, to the bottom, it's completely corrupt. And it's not only is it not in our best interests, but they hate us. They hate us with everything in them. So I don't know what it's going to take, but I don't know if a change of power in the normal means is possible. I'm not talking violence, but a change of power through the normal route, I don't know if that's physically possible anymore. We've gone past the point of return.
Well, not only that, we need the parents to fight for their children. Why aren't they involved in their education system? Why aren't they involved in these policies? Why is the police going along with these political tyrants? Why are they enforcing the edicts of illegal mandates, illegal laws?
Yeah.
Why are they going along with this? When are the people? Where are the Christians? Where are the pastors? Like, seriously, where are the pastors?
Yeah.
No, there's not one. Actually, there is. He's in jail. The other one's on probation.
No.
There's two.
The Christians aren't doing their job at all. They don't even know what their job is. They just sit quietly and say, yes, sir. Well, Romans 13, you realize that a lot of that was written from prison, right?
Read the rest of the chapter.
Exactly. You don't even have to read the rest of the chapter. Read the rest of his writings. It's not about obeying the government. It's about obeying God. Even the apostles said, who should we obey? You or God?
Well, okay. There's even a simpler explanation than that. Even, would you have followed Hitler?
Yeah.
Would you have obeyed their edicts to sell out the Jews and put them into concentration camps? Would you have done it because the government said so? Oh, but I thought all authority comes from God.
Yeah. Even China. I think what you said earlier is true too. You just throw your children to the state. You just let the state raise your children. That's what China does. That's what these other nations do.
That's what Canada does.
Yeah, exactly. Look at them. Look at how they're turning out now. Their government just dictates everything they do, every breath they take. If they wanted to, they could dictate how many steps you take in a day. China could do that. And that's what they want to do here. They just want us as slaves.
Australia is starting that program, the social credit program. It's coming to Canada, the 15-minute cities. If you don't know about that, look it up. Look what's happening in Oxford. If you're outside your district, well, you're going to get a fine. If you're outside your carbon footprint food stamp, really, you're going to be ticketed. If you're driving your car not past the certain hour, you're going to get a ticket.
Yeah. And don't let them gaslight you into thinking that, oh, it's just about bringing conveniences closer, like 15 minutes within me. It's not about that at all. It's about imprisoning you, controlling you. It's easier to control you if you're separated. It's far easier to manipulate someone if they're alone in the room.
And everything that's going on now, we know that it's to morally deprive our society so that we are easily subdued, and so that, I mean, really, this empire falls. Yeah. One of the key reasons that the Roman Empire fell was moral depravity, sexual depravity. Actually, sexual immorality is one of the key reasons that the Roman Empire fell.
Yeah, they've gotten to a place where they're so powerful and their enemies were so weak and they were so strong that they just turn to wickedness constantly. And that's what the Western nations have done. You see it very prominently here. You don't see that in a lot of other Muslim nations. You don't see that in India. You don't see that so much in China. It's actually outlawed. Even if you look at like Western TikTok compared to like Chinese TikTok, Western TikTok, you have them promoting, yeah, you should choke yourself. You should do this. You should change your gender. In China, you know what they promote? They promote obedience to the state. They promote being a good citizen. They promote always obey what you're told and be a good slave. It's very different because they want to bring us down.
Well, they respect their values. In Muslim countries, they defend their religion. They defend their beliefs. Do Christians do that? Does the West do that? No, not at all.
We've gotten lazy.
We've gotten bored, actually.
Yeah.
I believe boredom is the enemy of morality.
Yeah.
Boredom causes sin.
Yep.
Right? There's a reason God made us work.
Yeah.
It's because when we're working, we're not really sinning as much.
Yeah, there's
so
a reason.
Boredom is the enemy of morality. And we're so bored and so comfortable in Canada, in the United States, that all this depravity, this transgenderism, this radical gender ideology, men with men, women with women, it with it, like 100 different gender identities. Like, we've gone so far that we're on the brink of collapse.
Yeah.
This empire is falling. Babylon is falling.
Yeah, exactly. They're exactly like you said. There's a reason even Jesus said, go out and make disciples. We've gotten completely lazy as Christians. What are we doing? You talk to people who are in churches, they say, well, we don't grow. We don't actually go out and evangelize. We don't go out and save people. We stay the way we are, right? Because there's no reason. They've gotten completely lazy. They have no reason. They don't go out and disciple. They don't go out and win people to the gospel. They don't go out and evangelize. They become comfortable and they become slaves. They're in a golden cage, but it's comfy.
Well, and problem is, in Canada, people want comfort. Yeah. People are very comfortable in Canada, and they're very used to that. From generation to generation, people want comfort in Canada, so they're not going to go do something uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They're going to go to a pastor that's tickling their ears and making them money.
Yeah, I mean, look at during COVID. You guys almost went into withdrawals because your comfort was taken away. Your job, your security, you were afraid. You guys went into literal withdrawals because of your comfort, that it was taken away from you, and you'd do anything to get it back. You'd wear the mask, you'd shut down church, you'd do whatever they told you to do because that's all you care about.
Canada almost went into revolt because Netflix wasn't allowing sharing passwords, but they didn't go into revolt when their businesses were shut down, their restaurants were shut down, their rights were taken away, they were being trampled, their churches were being locked up. They didn't revolt then. Yeah. No, but when their Netflix was touched, that's when they went into revolt. I think that's a huge indicator as to where we are as a nation.
Yeah, I think it's exactly it. Forget your average Canadian. Your average Christian would be angrier about their favorite show being canceled than about their church being shut down. And don't say, oh, that would never happen. It did happen. You are more frustrated about simple things in life, simple comforts, than about your own church, your own freedoms being taken away, because that's where your heart is. You've become lazy.
What's happening right now with pastors and really the crackdown of any Christian that opposes this gender ideology is not going to stop. It has to be stopped. So people have to get out of their comfort zone and really start pushing back against this, or the children are being assaulted. The children are being attacked right now.
Yeah. If your own safety and security, your own comfortable lifestyle, all these things are more important to you than not only the gospel, but children, other people, human life, which Jesus told you to do. Yeah. Maybe Christianity isn't the religion for you. Maybe freedom isn't something that you really want. Maybe you should go, and I don't think this is cliche, maybe you should go live in China or something like that.
Maybe Canada isn't the country for you. Go to China.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll fit comfortably there, because this is supposed to be a democracy based on freedom. So we have the right to disagree. We're allowed to have differing opinions. We're actually allowed to aggressively disagree. I can disagree with you on everything, but we can still live in a cohesive society and get along.
Yeah, but they want to make that hate speech because it's not cohesive to communism. Not just communism. It's not cohesive to a dictatorship. Having differing opinions isn't how it goes. In China, you can vote opposite to their government, but you could lose your job. And that's the least of your concerns in China. You'll probably be killed, but you have that option.
Yeah, no, this whole agenda is to morally deprive us, and we got to start pushing back.
Yeah.